Think queer pop only comes from English-speaking countries? Think again. In 2025, global music is louder, prouder, and more unapologetically queer than ever, and it speaks every language. From Italian heartbreak hits to steamy K-pop ballads, these artists are breaking barriers, not just charts. They're not following trends, they're setting them. Which one's on your playlist? Drop their name and comment worldwide if you feel the beat too. Troy Pez didn't just break through, he exploded because he had the looks, the swagger, and the instinct to turn it into something bigger. In 2025, he's not just a singer, he's a full-blown digital phenomenon. A shirtless singing symbol of queer confidence that moves seamlessly between borders and languages. From posting thirst traps on Instagram to headlining queer music festivals across Madrid and Manila, Troy's rise was never about toning himself down. What makes him magnetic isn't just that he's hot. He knows it, he plays with it, and he never lets it overshadow his message. Sure, he serves face, body, and sex appeal, but there's depth behind the jawline. His music tells stories of heartbreak, desire, joy, and queer freedom in Spanish, Portuguese, and English. He's not just crossing genres, he's crossing worlds, blending reggaeton fire, Latin pop hooks, silky R&B, and sparkling electropop. The sound is both global and deeply personal. For queer fans across South America and Europe, his music isn't just a beat, it's a mirror. And the fashion? Unapologetically fluid. One night he's in mesh and harnesses, the next it's pastel streetwear with painted nails and Cuban chains. Never fully masc, never fully femme, but always making you stop mid-scroll and whisper, okay, who is this? What takes Troy even further is his radical openness, not just about being gay, but about vulnerability, self-worth, and owning your sexuality out loud. He posts intimate, empowering photos. He talks about mental health. He flirts with the lens and with his fans, but never in a fake way. It feels like an invitation into his world, where softness and sexiness are a power combo. In a music industry still dominated by queer-adjacent safe zones, Troy storms in with a six-pack and a pride flag, giving them equal billing. For young queer fans of color, especially in Latinx and Afro-Caribbean spaces, he represents more than visibility. He's a blueprint. Think Troy Pez is serving international queer royalty? Drop a siren in the comments if his vibe ever made you breathless, and check your own reflection. Tananai, the Italian pop heartthrob turning melancholy into queer magic. Tananai doesn't scream his queerness from the rooftops. He sings it softly, seductively, with lyrics that ache and aesthetics that whisper, I see you. In 2025, he's not just climbing the charts, he's captivating a whole generation of queer fans across Europe and beyond. Born Alberto Cotamusino, he first caught Italy's eye at Sanremo, the iconic music festival that births legends. At first glance, he looked like just another indie boy with a synth, but then he sang, and something cracked open. His voice trembled in all the right ways. His words carried a cinematic ache, and queer listeners leaned in. What makes Tananai magnetic isn't just his addictively dreamy electropop or alt-romance sound, it's his vulnerability. His stage presence isn't loud or hypersexual, it's tender, a little messy, always intentional. He doesn't perform poses, he expresses feeling. And for queer fans who've grown up decoding lyrics and clinging to subtext, Tananai's raw emotional honesty hits different. He doesn't hide, he lets the music speak louder than any label. In recent years, his videos and live shows have become increasingly fluid. Glitter, silk blouses, long stares with male bandmates, and just enough closeness to fuel 1,000 TikToks. He's never claimed a label, but his vibe is unmistakably queer. Think Måneskin, with feelings. Think Italian Frank Ocean, just a little sadder. Here's the twist. He's not niche, he's mainstream. In 2025, Tananai is one of Italy's biggest pop stars. His tracks play in Milan clubs, loop on radio stations, and trend on global playlists. And that kind of visibility, wrapped in a quiet, gorgeous queer energy, is powerful. He's not a side act, he's the moment. And in being that, he's telling young queer Europeans, your stories, your softness, your sadness, your glow, deserve the spotlight. Whether he ever comes out or not, his presence is loud in the ways that truly matter. Emotionally, artistically, unapologetically. Obsessed with his soft, queer glow-up? Drop an Italia in the comments. If Tananai's voice ever made you stare out a rainy window like you're living in a gay coming-of-age movie. Anwandter, the queer Latin visionary who makes protest feel like a dance floor. Some artists chase fame, Alex chases truth, and he's not afraid to make it danceable. In 2025, this Chilean singer, producer, and queer visionary is more than just a pop star. He's a movement, a mood, a masterclass in how to make music that's as political as it is poetic, as emotional as it is electric. He first emerged from Chile's indie scene in the early 2000s, blending synth-pop, funk, and disco with melancholic melodies and razor-sharp lyrics. And while his sound echoes the likes of Robin or early George Michael, his voice, openly gay, Latin American, and unapologetically emotional, has always made him unmistakably singular. From the very beginning, Alex wasn't just out in identity, he was out in message. His lyrics dive deep into queer love, loneliness, gender roles, violence, and systemic oppression, all wrapped in beats that make you want to move. It's the kind of brilliance that sneaks up on you. You're dancing, and suddenly, you're crying. That's the magic of Alex. In songs like Como Puedes Vivir Contigo Mismo, he captures the ache of being unseen, while still demanding joy. His music videos, cinematic. Drenched in queer bodies, dystopian settings, glitter, sweat, heartbreak, and defiance. Sometimes all in the same frame. But Alex isn't singing into the void. He's part of a larger cultural reckoning across Latin America, where queerness is still politicized, still dangerous, still radical. And instead of softening that edge for a global crowd, he doubles down, in Spanish with nuance, with complexity. He doesn't ask for approval, he commands recognition. In fashion, he leans into quiet elegance. High-neck blouses, bold colors, genderless tailoring, and a gaze that says, "You're not going to figure me out in one look." He's not flashy, he's deliberate. Every outfit is a decision, every lyric a confrontation. And in 2025, while others chase trends, Alex remains timeless, revered in queer Latin circles, celebrated by critics, and whispered about in underground clubs where lights stay low and feelings run high. For queer fans who want more than just bops, who crave art, rage, depth, and healing, Alex is it. Think Alex Anwandter is the poet-dancer we all dream of being in our darkest timbre, glitteriest moments. Drop revolution in the comments if you've ever cried on the dance floor and called it healing. Tooji raised eyebrows at Eurovision, but that was just the surface. What came after? No one saw coming. In 2015, Tooji didn't come out with a press release or a rainbow-filtered selfie. He came out through a controversial music video, Father, where he played a closeted gay man having an affair with a priest. It was bold, it was provocative, and it shattered the silence. That moment didn't just out him, it freed him. Since then, Tooji has carved his own lane through music, art, activism, and fashion. His sound evolved into something darker, moodier, a mix of electropop with lyrics about identity, shame, power, and liberation. No more radio-ready hooks, just poetic truth layered over pulsing, defiant beats. And the visuals? Iconic. Tooji doesn't just wear fashion, he becomes it. His style is high fashion meets performance art. Silk robes, gold embroidery, eyeliner sharp enough to slice dogma in half. There's always intention, blending Middle Eastern richness with Nordic minimalism, a reflection of the tension he carries between cultures. On red carpets, he's regal. On stage, he's electric, unchained, theatrical. But in 2025, what makes Tooji a queer icon isn't just his look, it's his voice, in every sense. He's a fierce advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, especially where religion, immigration, and queerness collide. He doesn't speak as a celebrity. He speaks as someone who's survived the closet, the judgment, the erasure. An immigrant, a Muslim-born artist, a gay man in public life. In interviews, he's sharp, articulate, unafraid to go deep. whether it's calling out Western queer tokenism or unpacking internalized shame. And through it all, he keeps releasing music that dares you to feel more, think harder, and dance anyway. For queer fans who don't fit into neat boxes, culturally, spiritually, sexually, Tooji isn't just a pop star. He's a blueprint. A living reminder that queerness isn't always rainbow-filtered. Sometimes, it's fire, gold, and a crown made of questions. Think Tooji is serving royal queer rebellion on every level? Drop fire in the comments if you're here for the icons who make art, not apologies. Ji-woong. No apologies. The K-pop prince with queer energy, too powerful to contain. Some idols smile for the camera. Ji-woong melts it with sharp cheekbones, eyes full of longing, and a body carved from fanfic fantasy. He's more than just a K-pop star. He's a queer-coded phenomenon. And in 2025, the whispers around Ji-woong are no longer whispers, they're roars. From an international queer fandom convinced that whatever he's selling, it's not straight. Originally known for his modeling and acting, Ji-woong truly exploded in popularity after appearing on Boys Planet, leading to his debut with the group Zero Baseone, ZB1. But unlike many of his peers, Ji-woong's allure wasn't just about choreography or high notes, it was presence. A dangerous mix of softness and control, of flirtation and mystery. He didn't just perform, he invited you in, and the gaze lingered. From the very beginning, fans noticed it. The way he looked at his members, the subtle touches, the way his voice dropped just slightly during fan service. Was it fanfiction bait, K-pop strategy, or something more real? And then came A Shoulder to Cry On. Ji-woong's lead role in this BL boys love drama didn't just raise eyebrows, it launched him into a new queer canon. The way he embodied romantic tension, the heartbreak, the held gaze and softness, it felt too natural. Like he wasn't acting, just expressing. LGBTQ+ fans around the world felt seen, shaken, softened. Since then, Ji-woong hasn't run from queer roles or speculation. Instead, he's leaned in with grace. In interviews, he speaks of love as universal. He's fashion-forward without fear. Silk blouses, sheer shirts, painted nails, bold accessories that scream, gender, who? His performances blur the line between choreography and chemistry. And though he's never publicly labeled himself, his silence feels less like denial and more like protection, or perhaps freedom. In the often strict, hyper-controlled image world of K-pop, where idols are trained to perform heteronormativity to appease conservative fans, Ji-woong's entire vibe feels like quiet rebellion. He doesn't need to say it, queer fans already know, and that knowing becomes a kind of intimacy. He is, to put it simply, the dream. The one you crush on, write fic about, defend online, and secretly hope is living a life as soft and romantic as the characters he portrays. Think Ji-woong is the gay-coded prince quietly queering K-pop, one glance at a time? Type Prince in the comments if his gaze has ever made you blush through the screen. Matheus Carrilho, the Brazilian pop rebel turning the dance floor into a queer sanctuary. Formerly a member of the iconic techno-brega group Banda Uo, Matheus didn't just step into the solo spotlight, he lit it up. With every beat, every move, every glittery look, he brings a sound that's unmistakably Brazil, unmistakably queer, and impossible to ignore. In 2025, he's not just topping playlists, he's redefining what queer pop looks and feels like in South America. Singing in Portuguese, dancing in sweat-soaked rhythm, and dripping with funk karaoke heat. Matheus isn't chasing global trends. He's creating his own world, one where queer identity pulses through every lyric and every hip thrust. What sets him apart isn't just the music, though his blend of pop dance and Brazilian funk is dangerously addictive. It's the energy, the confidence, the way he brings flamboyance without apology and sensuality without restraint. Whether he's in mesh, crop tops, or full carnival glam, Matheus owns every stage like it's built for him. And fans, especially young queer Brazilians, feel that ownership too. They see themselves in him, in the way he turns queer desire into a celebration, in the way he makes joy feel radical. He doesn't just perform for the community, he performs as the community. Loud, proud, fearless. In a country where LGBTQ plus expression still faces cultural resistance, Matheus Carrilho is more than a pop star. He's a cultural reset. His queerness isn't coded or coy. It's center stage, mic in hand, hips in motion. And he's not slowing down. Each song, each music video, each appearance is a defiant act of beauty and pleasure. For fans tired of queer artists being watered down or boxed in, Matheus is the reminder that being gay, bold, and Brazilian is more than enough. Think Matheus Carrilho is bringing the glitter, the groove, and the guts. Drop Brazil in the comments if his rhythm ever made you feel free, even for a moment. Arón Piper, the Spanish-German heartthrob who went from teen drama icon to queer-coded reggaeton prince. After making waves as the mysterious, brooding Ander in Elite, Arón didn't just fade into typecast roles, he flipped the script. In 2025, he's not just an actor, he's a pop force. Dropping Spanish-language singles that pulse with electronic beats, reggaeton heat, and just enough queer energy to make the internet spiral. His vibe? Intimate, edgy, and impossible to box in. Whether he's whisper singing over a hypnotic track or slow dancing with another man in a hazy music video, Arón isn't asking for attention. He commands it. What makes him magnetic isn't just the jawline, the tattoos, or the late-night Instagram thirst traps, though let's be honest, they help. It's the ambiguity, the way he walks the line between masculine and soft, between straight-coded celebrity and queer curiosity. He rarely speaks about labels, but his visuals speak volumes. From moody, shirtless aesthetics to music videos dripping in homoerotic tension, Arón Piper knows what he's doing. And fans, especially queer ones across Spain and Latin America, are tuned in. They see the looks, the gestures, the maybe. And in a world still obsessed with definitions, Arón's refusal to give them feels rebellious and kind of thrilling. He's bisexual? Maybe. Queer-coded? Absolutely. But more than anything, he's an artist who plays with perception like it's part of the production. And that's exactly what keeps people watching, listening, craving more. In a genre that often plays hyper-masculine and hetero by default, Arón shows up with velvet vocals, slow-burn energy, and a fluidity that feels fresh, maybe even radical. He's not loud about it, and he doesn't need to be, because queerness, in his world, is not a punchline or a plot twist. It's a mood, a texture, a beat. Think Arón Piper is serving bisexual mystery with a side of reggaeton seduction? Type Ander who in the comments if his videos ever made you blush, and hit repeat. Zand, the UK-born non-binary icon turning chaos into queer catharsis. Their sound isn't polished, it's intentional. Raw, loud, rebellious. Known for pioneering the genre they call ugly pop, a fierce fusion of industrial beats, glitchy electronics, punk rage, and deeply queer emotion. Zand isn't here to make music that's easy to digest. They're here to make music that demands you feel. And in 2025, while mainstream pop stars chase algorithms, Zand is tearing through Europe's underground scenes, topping indie charts in Germany and the Nordics, and building a cult following that doesn't want safe, they want truth. They, them in pronouns, and they, them in spirit. Zand doesn't conform, and they don't care to explain. From tracks that spit back at body shaming and gender policing, to visuals drenched in latex, glitter, and raw vulnerability, their artistry is both armor and invitation. When Zand screams on stage, it's not noise, it's release, it's rebellion. It's for the outcasts, the queer kids in small towns, the ones who never felt pretty enough, polite enough, palatable enough for pop. They don't sell perfection, they sell permission. To be messy, angry, loud, emotional, and free. And that's exactly why they matter. In a music landscape still built on binaries, male, female, straight, gay, clean, explicit, Zand exists in the in-between. And they make that space feel powerful. Their aesthetic? Somewhere between club kid apocalypse and high-fashion protest. Their message? Loud and clear. Queerness isn't always soft. Sometimes it screams. Sometimes it bleeds neon. Sometimes it punches back. Think Zand is the messy, glitter-soaked revolution we didn't know we needed? Type ugly pop forever in the comments if they ever made you feel seen in all your beautiful chaos. Think queer pop only lives in English? Think again. In 2025, these 10 queer artists are breaking barriers and topping global charts, all in their own language. From steamy K-pop ballads to electro-Latin anthems and ugly pop protest tracks, this list proves that queer voices are louder, bolder, and more global than ever. Which of these icons speaks your language, musically or emotionally? Drop their name in the comments and type global if you believe queer music deserves every stage on the map. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to LGBTQ+ Vibes for more stories where language is diverse and love is loud.